Good day, gents. I'm Kaiser. I'm here to kind of show off something I bought recently. I'm a really big fan of tabletop role-playing games. I'm a collector and player and dungeon master, and even kind of a writer if the time is right. So, recently over on the RPG trade subreddit, someone listed off a game that I thought was interesting when I heard it was announced, but I looked over the quick start and decided, this isn't for me. However, recently I was bored browsing that aforementioned subreddit, and I saw this for the price that it was at. I was like, I gotta pick this up. So, what this is a role-playing game, a tabletop role-playing game adaptation of a video game franchise that has had several games, and only about, I think people consider really only about 3 of them to be any real good. Personally, I think there's probably about 4 that are good, but I'm in the minority on that one. And that franchise, which I'm trying to be all dramatic and such, but this box is defying me, unfortunately. Oh my gosh. Box in a box, I think. So, this franchise being Borderlands. Now, a lot of people don't really like Borderlands 3, well, not 3, pre-sequel 3, and then the Tales from the Borderlands 2. I've played 2, pre-sequel, and 3, haven't dabbled in 1, I really should. I like 2, I like pre-sequel, and I want to play Tales from the Borderlands. I've heard the second one isn't near as good. If it's anything like Borderlands 3 was, it's probably pretty bad. Not gameplay-wise, just story-wise. Now, this game right here that I'm lucky enough to have gotten my mitts on is the deluxe edition of Bunkers and Badasses, pardon the language, named after Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, and I believe that has a standalone game now besides just the DLC. So in this big old deluxe box, holy crap, this is so cool. The person I bought this from has included some printouts that they made, which is pretty awesome. Looks like a campaign or short adventure. I imagine this was a pre-made one that you could download and print. However, if they wrote that, kudos to them. So then in addition to this, you get a set of minis and dice, which I'll be using that D20 no matter what I do. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. I love this. That's so cool. Pretty awesome. And then, of course, a smaller set. And then minis of what looks to be Axel, Zero, all the characters from the games. Some of their names escape me. I know Lilith, I know Zero, I know Axel, I know... that's Gage, I think. I think that's Lilith. That's Maya. That's, I think, Brick. That's Salvador. That's Krieg. These are super duper cool. This is amazing. Then, of course, you've got a load of pawns of all different types. This is my first time opening this, which is why I kind of wanted to record it. So these are all super duper cool. I'll have to go through all of these when I've got the chance. And then we've got the core rulebook, which is gorgeous. Let's look at some of the art inside. Oh, yeah. This is like just the right type of cool. Now the system, from what I've seen, isn't necessarily quite my speed. From what I remember, it didn't have a whole lot of customizability to it as far as your characters go, which is iffy with me. Having said that, I'm not opposed to it as much as I initially was. Just looking at the assassin, it looks like you pick a background, some class features. Looks a little bit like a D&D type game. Though, honestly, it looks more customizable than I was expecting. It seems a little bit more customizable than, say, like 5th edition, but I'm also not the biggest fan of 5e, so take my opinion, like most things, with a grain of salt. Whoever was reading this left in a couple of cards as a bookmark, including Wizard Claptrap. One of the reasons I really liked pre-sequel was that I could play Claptrap and annoy the crap out of my buddy who was playing the gunslinger, because I would like to try to waste as much of his ammo as possible, because he was playing a high precision, revolvers and sniper rifles. Meanwhile, I'm over here playing the guy who, if I ult, we all get put in rubber duckies, and he has to start wasting his ammo. So, win-win for me. Looks like we've also got a battle map which seems to be higher quality than some of the stuff I've bought from third parties. Oh, looks like it's actually still drawn on. Cool. Looks like you've got a generic one side, and then this side seems to have a little bit more detail around the edges. Super duper cool. Then, from what I understand, the nitty gritty, and dude, thank you to the person I got this from. I don't know if he laminated all these or if they came laminated, but gun cards. This is so cool. Looks like there's yeah, wow. Crappy rifle. I think this is a stack of the same. Static cling, Craftsman's Demise. This is super duper cool. That even looks to be grenade launcher. Oh, it's a shotgun. Oh, it's a TD or Ferrior? Stoker. These seem to be a little bit different than the game companies that I'm familiar with. So I was thinking if it was a TD it would have like that whole reload property. But these don't look familiar to me. Black Powder, Malefactor, Dahlia. Yeah, Stoker. Stoker looks to be kind of like maybe a bandit type thing. Malefactor looks like Malwan. Black Powder is probably like Jacobs. I wonder, do they have Hyperion? Because obviously, to me, you know, someone who played 2 in pre-sequel, and I guess 3, though 3 didn't have that as much. Oh, and then there's like Design Your Own. Again, this is super duper cool. Yeah, Black Powder is definitely meant to be a Jacob stand-in, and Malefactor is Malwan. Dahlia looks like Doll, or Dow, however you're supposed to say it. Oh, cool. And here is some stands and even a loot box. I don't think it opens. It's painted. Maybe that's why it doesn't open. I don't know if it ever did. I'm not gonna complain. That's super cool. It's a little like one of the big loot boxes. I think, yeah, this is 3D printed. I don't know that this came as part of the set because these look like resin. I 3D print things. Honest to goodness, if stuff like this is out here, I can have a lot of fun with that. I'll, of course, still use the pawns just because, like, yeah, of course I'm going to use, these look like Driders. Yeah, of course I'm going to use this stuff. And it looks like whoever used this did, in fact, use those custom cards a little bit. So, again, massive shout out to the guy I bought this from. Really, really happy that I got it for the price I did. So, I'll try to do a little bit more in depth if I've got the time, motivation, and brain power. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a fabulous day, and hopefully more will be coming soon. So, I'll see you around. I realized during my previous recording that you couldn't see a lot of what I wanted to show off too well, so here is kind of an inside look at the box. Here's all the pawns, as well as Wizard Claptrap and what looks maybe like a respawn card. I'm not sure what this is. You know, you've got Driders, you've got little goofy things. These look like something Tina drew. And all sorts of different baddies that you can use these stands on right here. But then the gun cards, so here's what a blank one looks like. So you've got room for your stats and range, damage, the element it fires, and then of course a drawing. And then for some of these package ones, you know, here's a Danger Ranger shotgun. Has a bad accuracy mod, but it has the Tedior property despite being Ferrior. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The minis, which look really, really good, and I realized I didn't show off properly, are all here. Here's, of course, the dice that has different symbols on it. It seems to have multiple of, you know, the bomb symbols and the vault key, vault symbol, so I'm really not sure what those are for yet. And then the inside of the box, and then, of course, the front, which is upside down. Look at me being a goober. Here we go. So yeah, pretty cool stuff.